From a D student party girl to an online entrepreneur. Hi, I'm Stephanie Lane, and I'm an online marketing strategist and coach for female entrepreneurs that want to build their dream tribes online. And I'm here just to kind of share a little story about myself and tell you who I am and just give you some information and what has set me off to build my own business. So I, like most people, went to school, was told to go to college, get a safe job, do all that XYZ stuff. But I remember in high school just being very discouraged because I was a DC student. I barely graduated from high school. I was not top of my class. I was very distracted, had a little bit of shiny object syndrome, just always into something, and I could just never stay grounded or focused on what it is that I wanted to be. And when the only thing I liked to do at that time was dance and hang out with boys. That's really all I liked to do. And then when college came, obviously the college freedom, and then you think that you're invincible and you end up drinking and partying and all that. Well, I was going down a pretty destructive path of really just hurting my body, hurting my soul, hurting my mind, being in toxic relationships, not really finding the best friendships, and just being in this cycle of kind of destructive cycle that could have gotten worse. But I was in Vegas one time, of course, the Sin City, and I went to Vegas, and I remember being really drunk and looking at myself in the mirror and saying, there's got to be more. There's got to be more. As I was splashing cold water in my face to sober up, I'm like, this cannot be it. This feeling of emptiness, this feeling of sorrow, this feeling of like depression and victimhood. And I was just like, ugh, I don't want this anymore. So, obviously when you make a decision and things start to unfold. I started to read books and get into personal development. My first book was Think and Grow Rich from Napoleon Hill, and that is a staple in the entrepreneur world. I think everyone should read it. It really opens your mind to your thinking, to your capacity, to the type of person you want to be. And in Think and Grow Rich, he says to find a mastermind. So a group of people of 3 or more that have like a collective goal or like wanting to raise each other's, I don't think he said consciousness, but just like raise each other's vibration. And I was so stumped on how the heck am I going to find a mastermind? How is this going to happen? And right when you make the decision, a few weeks later, a friend came up to me and he was like, hey, there's this group of women that meet every Thursday. I think you would really like it. You should check it out. I went to the group. I was really intimidated, super intimidated that I even left early. I remember going, okay, this is awesome. Great. All right. Bye. And I left early. But then the next week I showed up, and then the next week I showed up, and then the next week I showed up. So I just kept showing up, because there were so many layers of things that I just wanted to let go and I wanted to release, and I didn't want to be that person anymore. So that was my mastermind group. And then right when I was about to graduate from college, I met a producer and her husband. They were both producers and writers. And I worked in the infomercial world right out of college. And I am so grateful for this because they are such lovely people and mentors and friends. And actually, they're coming to my wedding in a few weeks. And I'm just so blessed to have known them because I had learned what it was to market, position, to showcase, to produce an infomercial, a product. I just found out what it takes to make something sell. That is what it was. And I did that for about 2 years. And while it was awesome and fun, I mean, celebrities and you get to be behind the scenes and cameras and lights and action and all this stuff, I really was not into it because I had to work 16-hour days. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. 16-hour days is a lot. I love this. I learned so much from it. It was wonderful. It was great. All right. Let me go get a traditional job because it wasn't a traditional job. So I go back kind of like thinking, okay, what's wrong with me? Why can't I find what I want? Why can't I find what I want to be? Like, what do I want to be when I grow up, right? That's the question. And so I got into experiential marketing and promotional modeling. So I was a promo model and brand ambassador for brands, for big brands like Sony, Kashi, Belvedere, quite a few big brands. And I worked for them and loved it. I did that for about 7 years. I can't believe I did it for 7 years. So I did it for 7 years. And then about a few years ago, I started to feel that niggle. They call it the niggle, like the voice in your head saying like, you're meant for more. You're meant for more. You have to make this happen. And in the meantime, I was actually enrolled in yoga teacher training, and I loved it. I was learning all about meditation and yoga and breath and asana and just the connection of the mind, body, and how I've been able to, in my business now, infuse that into, like, it's been this wonderful intertwining of that element. Well, so I got that niggle. I got that feeling like, what is going on? Why can't I be happy? Right? Why can't I be happy with what I have? So then I worked this awesome job with this huge brand, and I did a wonderful job, and I loved them so much, and I was really, really happy to be a part of that brand. Well, it was a contracted position, and afterwards they had promised me for what I had thought, they had promised me a position with their company or with their program in the next few months. And the pay was incredible. And it was the first time I was making really good money. And I was like, this is awesome. I'm doing my thing. I'm in my zone. It was what I was really, really good at. And I just felt so appreciated and so loved in that position. Well, a few weeks went by, nothing. A few months went by. I'm like, what's going on? And I was waiting for them. Like, I was waiting. I was doing some odd jobs here and there, but I was waiting for the position to open because I knew it had been over the holidays, so there was some time that they needed to figure everything out. Well, little did I know, they came back and said, hey, we hired someone else for the position. I was devastated. I was so sad. I cried. I bawled my eyes out. I was really, really hurt because I had been waiting for something, but now I know in retrospect, it wasn't meant for me. It wasn't meant for me because again, that voice came, Stephanie, you're here for something bigger. You got to do something. You got to make this happen. I'm like, oh, what is it? What do you want me to do? So I feel this pain and I'm just like, oh my gosh. So fast forward to, I started working odd jobs again, and I worked for quite a few great entrepreneurs. So I was working for some female entrepreneurs and helping support them with some programs. And I also joined Sittin' Pretty Still, which is a yoga and meditation company with my former business partner. And we decided to launch a Kickstarter, and I was like, okay, I'm going to use all the marketing stuff that I had learned from from all the stuff I've studied, and then also all my past production stuff, all my past knowledge and expertise. And I also learned a ton about also script writing and creating that connection with your audience. And it was lovely and it was beautiful, and I was really, really proud of it. We launched the Kickstarter with the strategy in mind, with everything just like boom, 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 ready to go. And in 62 hours, we funded $11,000. And then throughout the whole campaign, we made $27,000. And we only spent $300 on advertising. It was so amazing. It was so great. It made my confidence boosted. And I was like, yes, this is what I was meant to do. I was meant to create art and meant to help with the strategy and the elements and the action plan, and then also the mindset component, because there's a lot of mindset to it. So we did it, we launched it, and then I realized that I was not meant to be behind a product. While right now I do sell doTERRA as like a side income. I do have a side income stream, but wasn't meant to like fully do a product-based business. And I mean package, do all that customer service, all that jazz. Like, that's a lot, a lot of energy. I mean, if you want to do it, go for it, but it was not for me. I'm in the people business. I love to connect, and I love being in the service-based business. So then in June of 2017, after like 5-6 years of trying to start a couple businesses and failing and just like, ugh, I'm ready to do it, I started a consulting business, a boutique online marketing business, and then a coaching business as well. And it just really took off, and it really started to grow. And I was like, oh my gosh, I get to, help people and make money and have fun and be in my zone of genius. And when Mondays come, I'm like so excited. I'm just like, like excited for Monday. What has happened? Like, why did it take me this long? But, I can think about that and dwell on it. But it was such a beautiful leap that I took forward, and then I jumped towards my just the level that I'm able to lift up to. So I started to consult. I started to get clients, and I was like, oh my God, I started to make challenges, and people were starting to notice what I was creating, and it was wonderful. It still is wonderful, and I'm still in it, and I've almost been a year into this business, and I am just so blessed because I had launched a group program, and then I just launched a mastermind, and I have women in it, and I'm helping them. They're achieving like real results, and I just will continue to grow. And I know you're going to see me more often, but it wasn't until I made that decision in Vegas that I was like, there's gotta be something more. Like, I can't just be like partying and drinking and being around these toxic people. Like, I crave depth. I crave connection. I crave love. I crave creativity, collaboration. Like, I needed that. And entrepreneurship gave that to me. It really, really did. While you see tons of people say the freedom, it's the freedom from yourself. It's from the freedom of restrictions that you had set on yourself. All the negative things that you said about yourself. Like, it's believing it in yourself in the most beautiful essence that you are your best friend, that you are your guide, you are your light. You're able to get yourself there. Yeah, it's not going to be all pretty. It's not going to be all beautiful. And I'm not trying to sell that to you because it's not gonna be like that. It's gonna be a bumpy road in the beginning. But if you really, really want it, and I mean, I am, like 9 out of 10 businesses fail, don't get past the 10-year mark. And I know I'm gonna be that one business that gets through because I am determined. I can't work for anybody. I deleted my resume. I can't. And I just don't like working for anybody. And maybe I'm a little bit of a control freak, but but entrepreneurship isn't for everybody. It isn't. So I'm not trying to say that it is. But if you feel it, if you hear it, if it's in your heart and it's starting to speak to you, listen to it. Okay? Listen. All right, thanks for joining me. And if you need any more information, you can visit me at my website at stephanielane.net. Thank you.